they're sometimes trained to take advantage of that trust a little bit. Hello and welcome to another episode of Double J's List. If you get a chance, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. I would really appreciate that. Today I'm going to tell you my top 10 tricks to getting a great, if not the best deal possible at a car dealership. Now this doesn't matter whether it's new or used. If you're buying or leasing, typically if you follow these steps, you'll get a really great deal. If you listen to this and there's other things that you want to add, go ahead and please leave a comment. Or if you want to try this and let me know how it works out, always just leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you on this. I love reading that stuff. So, my way of buying cars from a car dealership is loosely based on an episode of Planet Money from NPR from about 20 years ago, where they interviewed an FBI hostage negotiator and discussed with him on how he negotiates purchasing a car. So here's a person who is really, really good at negotiating in high pressure situations. And tell you what, sometimes a lot of people can perceive purchasing a car at a car dealership as a really high pressure situation. Obviously not as much as what an FBI hostage negotiator goes through, but I think in some people's heads, the anxiety and things like that can build up. Absolutely, there are some parallels there for sure. So my number one trick is to not be in a position that you must buy that car that day. All right, now what I mean by that, you have to be able to walk away from anything. So if you go into a dealership and you've got it in your mind that I am going to buy that car today, and that's the only one that I can buy, and I have to do it right now, the salesperson is probably going to pick up on that and not deliver you a very good deal. So whether or not you're in a position where like, oh, I've got an older car and I want to get rid of her, I just don't want this car in my life anymore, whatever it may be, try not to be in that position. And if you are in that position where you absolutely have to have a car, don't let the salesperson know. And always keep in the back of your mind that there's another car dealership down the road. There's another one in the next town over. There's another car dealership 50 miles away, another one 100 miles away, whatever it may be, that may have a similar car to what you're already looking at. So always be ready to walk away. Number two is know the market for the vehicle that you are interested in. So if you're not sure what vehicle you're looking to buy right now, do your research, obviously. I've found recently when people at least talk to me, whether I be at work or talking with friends or whatever, that it seems like most people know exactly what make and model they want to go out and buy. They've already done their research and they say that I want a Ford Bronco, or I want a Kia Telluride, or whatever it may be. And it's just a matter of getting it to a price that is reasonable. So if you're not in that, you need to get to know what vehicle you want to purchase, and then do your research. So, there's Auto Trader, there's Cars.com, there's Car Gurus, all these other different Edmunds, all these different other websites that you can go to and look at cars for sale, see the prices that they're going for, and get a good idea of what the price should be on that car. If you're shopping new, go on the manufacturer's website and build it to the spec that you want. Look at what's in inventory. You can do all this on all new car makers' websites. There's also usually a link to see what the incentives are in your area on that particular vehicle. So you can be a really informed buyer walking through the door of that dealership before you get it all done before you go, so you have an idea of what the ballpark is going to be. All right. My number three tip is don't be set on a certain spec of that car. What I mean by that is don't fall in love with a certain color, or I need to have this trim level for whatever reason. Even if you really do and are set on that, just don't, again, lend your hand to the salesperson, because they may know that, hey, I only have I'm the only dealership in town with the Eruption Green Bronco in whatever trim level. And that might be the exact one that you want, but don't let them know. Say, yeah, I was looking at a white one over at the dealership down the road. Like, you need to be able to be flexible, and it could actually work out much better for you if you are indeed flexible. Say, you know what, I don't care what color it is. I just want that type of vehicle. That's fine. Or I don't need the bigger screen in the middle of the dash. I can go with the smaller one, or whatever it may be. So again, just be flexible about it, or at least say that you're flexible about it, so that way you don't put yourself in a position where they know that you're in love with that particular vehicle. So, all right, number 4, bring a notepad and a pen. Okay, they're going to shoot a lot of numbers at you. They're going to shoot a lot of different things, trade-in values, all that kind of stuff. Have a notebook and have a pen and write down what dealers you're at and the numbers they're giving to you as they're giving them to you. So that way you have a record of it for yourself. It also signals to the salesperson that you're an informed buyer. You're probably shopping around, and it's probably a good idea to give this person a solid number and a competitive number right off the bat, because it's clear that they're shopping around. So. Okay, next up, now if you're purchasing, number 5, if you're purchasing a vehicle, don't focus on monthly payment. You need to focus on what the total price of the car is. So, because if you're focusing on monthly payment, the salesperson can do a lot of tricks, like maybe adding on to your down payment. They can talk you into this, if you only come in with $2,000 instead of $1,000, we can get you at that payment. Well, you're still paying more for that vehicle in the end. Or, hey, we can stretch these payments out to 72 months or 84 months or something crazy like that. You're paying more, and then you're going to probably be paying more interest on that vehicle then too. So the longer the term, typically the higher the interest rate. So, don't let them try to negotiate monthly payment on there. And it's also a really good idea to contact your bank or credit union and go on their website and figure out what the finance rates are. So they're kind of high right now, obviously, and hopefully they're going down soon. But you don't know what the rate they're going to be. And also, when you're looking at the incentives, like some of these cars that are new, or sometimes these certified used cars program, have as an incentive a lower interest rate. So also explore those options too. Like, especially if you're looking used, don't be afraid to go and look that up too. That one down the road that's certified might be $1,000 more than one that's not certified in another dealership, but you might be saving more than that on interest rate by buying that one. So because there's an incentive on the certified used car. So, like, again, lots of research. Do all of your reading everywhere that you can look and find out as much information about that make and model that you can. Now, number 6 is if you're leasing a vehicle, and unfortunately, leases have gotten very expensive post-pandemic. I guess is the era we can call this right now. So it's just gotten very, very expensive. It's a combination of vehicle values going up and interest rates going up. Typically, just makes leases go up. Manufacturers still aren't cranking out cars the way they were pre-pandemic, so also the supply is up compared to where it was a few years ago, but it's not pre-pandemic numbers. So there's not a huge incentive to just blow out cars inexpensively on leases. So, but if you do lease, okay, have what I say is a laser focus on what the total cost of that lease is. They're going to present your monthly payments, and this is going to be your down payment. And if you're trading a car in, here's the amount of money that we're giving you for that. So try to figure out what exactly they're charging you to use that car for that period of time total. So if you're paying $200 a month for 36 months, multiply that number by 2,000 times add in your down payment and your trade-in value or whatever they throw at you, and the taxes and fees that they're putting on there, and look at that total number. And that's the number you really should be comparing from dealership to dealership. Again, just like with monthly payments on purchasing a car. When you're leasing a car, they're going to change things around. They do sneaky things like lower the amount of mileage per year. They also do things where they stretch out the length of the lease. And I don't advise anyone to ever lease a car beyond its warranty period. So, because I think one of the benefits of leasing is not having to worry about paying for repairs of that car during that term. And if your lease goes beyond what the warranty of the car is, not only are you on the hook for making the lease payments, but you're also on the hook for making the repairs to the car during that time. So my advice would never lease a car beyond its warranty. So, and they may try to pull that. You got to watch the terms that they're showing you. So, all right, number 7 is be nice and professional. You got to remember that these people working in car dealerships, the sales representatives, the sales managers, everybody, they're people too. And if you treat them with respect, when they bring forth a deal, and say, hey, thank you, that's a really good deal. I can see that. But respectfully, I'm going to go and I'm going to write down your numbers and I'm going to continue shopping. They don't like hearing that for sure, because they go through a state of mind that once you walk through the door and then walk out, you are probably not coming back. There's probably some statistics saying that the probability is relatively low. Obviously, if they're giving you the best deal and you go to 10 other dealerships afterwards and that's the best deal, you probably will come back. But ultimately, they don't want to let you leave. So as professional and friendly as you can be, say thank you, I appreciate that, and never be insulting, never be hostile. That is never going to help you in this case. You're going to get more flies with honey than you are with vinegar, as the old saying is, and that goes in this case too. So, all right, number 8 is, if you hate everything about the negotiation process that I just spoke about, you have the option of going to a place that doesn't have any haggling or negotiation, like CarMax, Carvana. Buying new, you can go like Tesla, Rivian, all the online type. You order your car online and then you go and pick it up at their showroom, and that's the price and that's it. The disadvantage is typically their prices are a little bit higher, especially in the used cars, like Carvana and CarMax, but you're paying for that luxury of not having to sit down and argue back and forth about price and things like that. So something to consider if you really hate the other processes that are of going to a car dealership, and it creates a lot of anxiety in your life. It might be worth to spend the extra $1,000 or whatever to get that car from CarMax or Carvana, so or order from Tesla. So anyway, number 9, when they take you in that back room and you talk to their finance and insurance person, be really comfortable with the idea of telling them no. This will often be the highest pressure moment during your experience at a car dealership. And the reason being is that those car warranties are extremely profitable for the dealership. I've known some folks that have gotten the numbers at the dealership, said no, and then shopped the same exact warranty companies or found more reputable warranty companies that sell similar coverage for a fraction of the price. That being said, you can also negotiate sometimes on those. And if they're not willing to negotiate, then you can just say no. Sometimes they offer little service plans. Your oil changes are cheaper if you go this route or whatever it may be. Try to factor that in. They're going to throw a lot of numbers at you. I always found it really ironic that after they sell you a car and they tell you how great it is and how fantastic, and it's going to be the best car, it's going to be reliable, it's going to be great for your family, all that kind of stuff. You go to the back room and this person starts telling you about how these repairs can be so expensive and it's really a bad situation. You better get a warranty for this car that we just told you is fantastic. I've never understood how that dynamic works, but it must be extraordinarily profitable in order to do it. So there you go. And it doesn't hurt, even before you go and shop the car, shop the warranties first. You can go online and find out good warranty companies and find out what they would charge on a particular car. With you can get the VIN off the website that's selling the car and then the miles, all that kind of stuff, and get a general idea of what a warranty should cost if that's the route that you really want to go down. You can also avoid warranties totally if you just get something that's reliable in the first place. Typically Toyotas, Lexuses, Mazdas, those are all brands that almost their whole lineup is typically very reliable, and you typically don't even need a warranty. And then once you get into other brands, like there's certain vehicles that are better, certain that are worse. Again, do your research. It doesn't hurt to go on to the Facebook groups for that particular make and model and see, and Reddit. Reddit is a good source of information too, where the owners, they're not shy about complaining about whatever's wrong with their vehicle and the interactions they have with service and things like that. So do that research. It could really be beneficial for you. And then you probably don't even need the warranty anyway. But again, a good car buyer is someone who knows exactly what they're shopping for and so on and so forth. And now number 10, the final one I'm giving you. I've actually written an article about it like 10 years ago on my old car blog. If you have a friend that sells cars, go to them last. And what I mean by that is car salespeople, and I'm not saying all car salespeople are like this, but a lot of training for car salespeople is to, I don't want to use the term take advantage, but if you go to a salesperson and someone that you know and then you trust, they're sometimes trained to take advantage of that trust a little bit. What they do is, hey, this is the best deal that we can give you on this car. You're not going to find a deal like this anywhere else. You got to trust me on this. That may not be true. So shop at all the other dealerships first, then go to that friend. So you have the numbers in front of you. You can even share the numbers with that salesperson. Be like, here's what you need to beat. And typically they will. Or they may try to talk you into saying, hey, it's worth paying extra to go with me. And you can make that decision whether or not you want to pay extra to that person. So anywho, with that being said, how about a little bonus one? I'll do number 11 here. Watch for fees. Sometimes they say them in the ads in the car, sometimes they don't. The advertised price might actually have an extra $1,000 of a documentation fee or whatever nonsense these dealerships can come up with. Extra add-ons, window etching and GPS locators if the car gets stolen or whatever. Be wary of that. Make sure you write that down on any kind of a deal that you do. And if they try to add that on after the fact, call them out and say, I'm not paying for that. Okay, so, but anyway, if you have any other tips or if you use any of this to purchase a car, please leave a comment below. I'm going to leave a link for that NPR story so you can listen to it too. It's a good listen. I strongly recommend it. It's kind of entertaining. And I really look forward to hearing you, and thank you very much for watching.